Hi, I'm Terry Kolath. I'm here today with Dr. Carol Clark from the Medical Center, Dr. Stu Stranahan, who was our former Director of Spiritual Services, and we're talking about a class where we're also going to be joined by Dr. Nancy Spencer, behavioral psychologist right here at Shell Point. This is a holistic look at a topic. Those of you who have lived here for a while will remember these three special people presenting a class every semester. And we're back to that again. We're delighted. This time they've taken the challenge to talk with us about mindfulness. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies.
Thank you for asking.
Now, I know mindfulness is not a new word, but it's certainly a new buzzword for us now. And it occurs to me that this is something that's happened for quite a while. What do you think, Sue?
Oh, absolutely. If you go back to the Holy Scriptures for both Judaism and Christianity, God admonishes people to be mindful, and He also reminds us that He's mindful of us. So it's not a new concept. You might even look at 3rd and 4th century Christians. You have the desert mothers and fathers who wanted to be mindful, and in order to do so, separate themselves from the world, so they went out into the desert. Now, I don't think that's too practical, but it worked for them.
And sometimes it's tempting.
That's true.
I think I have to go to the desert for a while.
Yeah.
Well, that does sort of explain how it's been in our consciousness all along through the centuries. And I sometimes wonder, because we're in such a rush now, we think it's better to do it faster and quicker, that now is a time for us to focus on what people have been told forever. Carol, how does the medical community look at the practice of mindfulness?
Medical providers have known for many centuries that the same illness is experienced by each person in a different manner. And I don't know that there was ever a lot of research done on why that's true. However, today there actually are recent articles published on even meta-analysis of the factors of that experience being different for people, even though it's the same disease process. We're particularly looking at it in terms of chronic illness, because when we cannot fix something, it's a frustration to the patient as well as the provider.
Sure.
So learning to live with and live through chronic illness becomes very important in the discussion of mindfulness.
Fascinating. And Sue, this idea of everything going so quickly, time goes so quickly, information comes to us just like that. We can stand in line at a restaurant and get something right away. And that sort of builds up this in us. Spiritually, how do we look at that? What's a way to combat that?
Well, it's that sense of urgency and time urgency that really drives us to desire some quiet time and some downtime. And if the desert mothers and fathers who did not live with electronic stimulation felt that need to get out and to be alone and to be quiet and to be thoughtful, how much more so in our age when we're bombarded by, I don't know how much, stimuli every day. So there's a need for it, but there's also a discipline. Coming into a state of mindfulness doesn't happen just because you want it to, and it doesn't happen overnight. There is the need to practice a discipline of how to make your mind focus on yourself, your environment, and others. Thanks.
And you have a great opportunity on Tuesday, March 13th, to join Dr. Nancy Spencer, Dr. Carol Clark, and Dr. Sue Stranahan as we look at the topic of mindfulness.